copyright infringement. Joe is singing our new intro.
Hey, all right. You ready for this one?
Sing it.
La la la. La la la.
Hey. It's the fantasy football brawl. Yeah. So it's our new intro. As you heard, we're getting a little big, so we need to change up the music. We can't use Chop Suey anymore. That's unfortunate. But yeah, here we are on our Super Bowl edition episode. We're episode 23. We hope you all having a super week for Super Bowl week. Have a big party ahead of you. Super Bowl needs to be on a Saturday, so we can.
Hey Joe, let me stop you right there, man. Let me stop you right there, bro. I just wanted to. I know that you already had this on the document, but I wanted to make it clear that like this week we're thinking about the families and the victims of the the helicopter crash in Calabasas, California, that took the lives of Kobe Bryant and his daughter and seven other people. And we just wanted to say that our thoughts and our prayers are with the families involved. And it was just a really tough Sunday. I was planning on getting up, watching the Pro Bowl, and looking at my Draftkings the entire time, but not this Sunday. Instead, I sat at the TV and I got a little emotional for about an hour. And it was just I don't know about how y'all felt, but Kobe Bryant was someone who I took a lot of inspiration of. He was the first basketball I started watching. That was the first finals I watched back in 2009 or 2010. And he's someone whose work ethic, the Mamba mentality, has meant so much to me. It's something I strive to replicate in my personal life. And it's so tragic and so unfortunate that he was taken, and the rest of the victims too, that everybody doesn't get to live out long and healthy lives. But as a positive note, I just want to say thank you to Kobe for helping me, enforce this work ethic into my brain, and for him to have a lasting impact on someone who doesn't even know him, and that's just a lot. It means a lot to me, and I know a lot of other people who he meant a lot to too.
Well, that's exactly where I wanted to start. I mean, they already know who we are, so we're right into it. Joe kind of expressed his reaction to the passing, but I'm going to put it back on you, Joe, and ask, what's your favorite Kobe Bryant memory? We'll spin it around the room before we try to hype up and have a little fun.
I don't know. I think it was probably the first time he came to town to play Derrick Rose, or the first time Derrick Rose played Kobe, because Derrick Rose is my favorite basketball player of all time. So just seeing two people I really loved watching play the game, and I was so inspired by, meant a lot to me. Also, just watching him destroy the Celtics in the finals was very fun.
Lucas, why don't you chime in and talk about your experience from Sunday and maybe some of your favorite Kobe Bryant memories? I know he's, near and dear to you, being from your same area.
Yeah, he was a superstar at Lower Merion High School. Kind of one of those first people who, that trend of high school players going into the pros right away, that really took off in that kind of era. And he was one of the pioneers of that. And he was just incredible his whole career. And as Joe alluded to, I mean, his work ethic is just unmatched. And, for anyone who's maybe too young and didn't really get to watch him play, I mean, go look up his highlights. Just go look up and hear some interviews and see what he was about. It's transcendent. It goes beyond basketball. Kind of that work ethic is just, if you apply that to anything you do in life, there's no way you won't be successful. There's just no way, if you go at everything with that mentality that, you're training to be the best, you want to be the best, you're getting up at 3 or 4 a.m. to perfect your craft, no matter what it is. I don't care if you're an athlete. I don't care if you're working hard at school, growing a podcast, growing a brand, whatever. Go at it at the same attitude Kobe Bryant went with, and you'll be successful. And I mean, Sunday was just, I didn't want to believe it was real. I saw it and I almost thought, I was like, is this some sick prank? Is someone just making this up and, pranking me? Like, this can't be true. he's 40 years old. I mean, he had a professional career, but he had, the rest of his life ahead of him. So just tragic. And you feel for those other families as well that, kind of, died in that plane crash as well, who maybe not getting as much attention as they should because, they were parents and had kids as well. It's sad all around and terrible for the sports world.
What's your favorite Kobe memory?
It's got to be, there's so many memories to choose from, but I think he just embodies when, he tore his Achilles and still went to the line to shoot those 2 free throws. And in almost a game, it didn't really matter, but he knew his season was over. And the dude couldn't walk and he just sunk 2 free throws. And it's just so
That's
Kobe.
The epitome of Kobe.
That's the epitome of hard work, dedication, and just love for what you do. So. And
how about you, Joe?
Well, Sunday was a weird day. It was weird to follow the news. Twitter was going insane, and it took a while before it kind of got confirmed on the TV. I guess 30 minutes or so. It felt like a lot longer than that. It was a shocking day. I was kind of in a state of shell shock the whole day. And I got to be honest, I never really was. I was a young Kobe fan. I was a Kobe fan when it was Kobe and Shaq, when it was that era of the Lakers. Basically, my earliest basketball memories were
when he still had hair.
Yeah, the last years of Jordan, and then basically it was Kobe Bryant. And I enjoyed the Kobe and Shaq days, and I had a small basketball that was decked out with the Lakers, and I played it in the driveway, and it was weird because I kind of faded off on my Kobe love over the years, but you never fade off from the respect and understand the work ethic that he put in, the work ethic and the kind of person that he was and the kind of leader that he was. It was very weird to see that. It almost didn't feel real. It kind of makes you think of a Sean Taylor passing away. Makes you think of a Reggie White kind of passing away suddenly, or Dale Earnhardt Jr. passing away suddenly. Just a weird. It's very. It was almost like everybody I came in contact with on Sunday had that same attitude of, man, what in the world? And so, just upsetting. And the people that loved him more than others is really affected by it. And so, you really think about how quickly it all can be taken away from you, how quickly things can change. So really feel for the families that are involved, the teammate, the coach, the pilot, everything was just not good. So we I know the three of us are expressing our condolences for everybody involved, and really even the fans who, are feeling sadness, not even knowing the guy. So it's just a sad thing.
Can't take anything for granted. I mean,
right.
That's what it comes down to. If you're having a fight with someone, you're in an argument, just let it go. It's not worth it in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. I guess my favorite Kobe memory, though, honestly, it's not even a bucket. It was I remember the alley-oop he threw to Shaq against the Trailblazers, the Western Conference Finals, on their way to their first championship. I remember sneaking out of my bedroom and watching it on a tiny TV in our living room, and coming down the lane towards the end of the game, and he threw up that alley-oop that looked like it was on a skyscraper, and Shaq just went up and got it, and that sealed the deal basically for him. And then they went from there to play for their first championship together. And
that was an iconic play.
Yeah.
Put the audio in there when you go back and look at it if you can. But y'all know our Twitters. Like y'all know our Twitters this week. This week, instead of telling you guys to follow us on Twitter and shouting out our own personal Twitters, I'm gonna say that we should shout out the Kobe and Vanessa Bryant Foundation, and say that if you have anything to give, you should probably give it over there, because that emblemizes a lot for what Kobe and his family and the other families involved stood for.
That's perfect. Joel, why don't we pick it up a little bit and talk about really what we're here for?
Yeah.
I know it is really sad, but we want to bring a little energy and some life to our listeners, because
let's get back in it.
Yeah. It's Super Bowl week, and we want to have some fun. And so with that, we're going to go in and break down pretty much all the fantasy relevant matchups. There's no other games, thankfully, and so we're going to get right into it. Joe, tell us about our friends at Fanatic, and we'll jump right into the quarterbacks.
So this week, I know that Fanatics is probably having some type of huge sale, and that's a thing every week, guys. It's not just this week; it's every week. So you can do us a favor at the Brawl Network. You can do Fanatics a favor, and you can do the team that you're buying the gear for a favor. If you go to our link, www.thebearsbrawl.com/fanatics. And if you use that link, you'll help support us, you'll help support Fanatics, and you'll help support the teams where you're buying the merch for. I personally was thinking about probably trying to get like a Kobe jersey, or Kobe, like something, because I realized I don't have any. I used to have some Kobe shoes, but I grew out of them. But
Can't get them anymore.
You can't. Yeah, I know.
Nike pulled them.
So unfortunately, when I went on to Fanatics today, trying to use our link, a lot of stuff was sold out.
I'm sure.
So, if it gets put back in there, that's something that you should be looking out for as our audience. Fanatics has been super, super nice to us, and we really appreciate everything they do for us. And we hope that we can help them out by putting our link out to our fans and our listeners so that they can support us and Fanatics as well. www.com www. This is a sponsor read. God damn it.
Well, maybe you should get it right.
www.thebearsbrawl.com/fanatics. That had me feeling a lot better, messing up like I do almost every week. I hope it's been in previous shows. It's been the www.com/fanatics. If you want to go www.
Joe, do you know what, dude? You deserve a gold nugget for that, dude.
A gold nugget?
There you go.
Is that what is that?
Gold nugget for you.
That is not a real gold nugget.
It looked like it.
It's fool's gold.
It's a gold nugget for you, buddy.
It's fool's gold.
Lucas and his environmentalist stuff, he probably dug that out of the ground and found it for you.
You can't find gold nuggets that big anymore. They've all been picked up throughout the years.
Well,
if you have a master's degree.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of gold nuggets, there's one team that found a lot of gold nuggets that's in the Super Bowl, the 49ers.
Well, yeah, but their quarterback, in my opinion, isn't one.
Yeah, let's get
that's perfect, man. He's a gold digger. I mean, he rides coattails.
Jesus.
All right, yeah. So the two quarterbacks, they're
gold digger, baby.
He got to the Super Bowl on his own this time. Let's just clap it up for Jimmy G.
No,
what has he done?
Without Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, he got to the Super Bowl. Like that's who he got to the Super Bowl with previously.
Now he gets the next big thing, baby.
Well,
the two quarterbacks have had very, very different playoff experiences. Both have played 2 games in this year's playoffs, and Mahomes has thrown for 615 yards, 8 touchdowns, and ran for another touchdown.
And 106 yards.
Yeah. Jimmy G, on the other hand, has thrown for a total of 208 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception.
On 27 passing attempts.
So their fantasy points, since we're a fantasy football podcast, Mahomes has hit 73 fantasy points in 2 games to Jimmy G's 10 fantasy points in 2 games.
Well,
fine.
Jimmy G, this is for you, baby.
Yeah.
Keep digging that gold, buddy.
Just keep riding the coattails. And I want to just start it off, send it to our analysts with this question. Can Jimmy G win this game by playing the same way he's played over the last 2 games?
No.
Yes,
I'm leaving it at that.
Yes, he can.
I'm leaving it at that. No.
Yes, he can. He doesn't have to do anything more. It's the defense that's going to have to step up in this game if they want to stop Patrick Mahomes.
They're not stopping Mahomes.
Their offense is going to score enough. They scored enough last week. I think that they can score enough this week too. I think that Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers, not the same this year, not the same last year, but 2 great elite quarterbacks in my opinion. I think that the defense stepped up last week. If it steps up this week, then Jimmy G can play however he wants to play as long as he doesn't turn the ball over too many times.
So he can complete less than 10 passes, Joe, and win the Super Bowl.
Hell yes. I think that is entirely possible.
So the 49ers are going to make that their game plan. They're going to game plan to chew clock, keep Mahomes off the field, obviously, and just run the ball. That being said, do you not think the Chiefs know this? And credit to the Chiefs. I've bashed their defense a lot. They played very well from week 11 on. Spagnuolo's got those guys playing well. They're going to
Oh, yeah, they're fired up. It's the Super Bowl.
I'm just saying, I think the game plan is obviously going to be to run the ball, play, clock control, and keep Garoppolo from throwing too many times. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to play out that way because the Chiefs know it. I know it. You know it. Joe knows it.
I think Patrick Mahomes can throw for 4 touchdown passes and still lose this game.
I think it's going to be very low scoring, and I think it's going to come down to Garoppolo.
I don't see any way that it's low scoring with this run game. Patrick Mahomes.
I'm taking the under.
Game.
I'm saying
You're
under
taking
50,
the under?
Under 52. Absolutely.
I don't know about that.
We'll get to the over/under at the end. We got prediction time. That'll be our last segment.
Well, this plays into it. I think Garoppolo. I'm not saying he'll have a huge fantasy day. I just think if the 49ers want to win, he'll be the X factor in the Super Bowl. If I had to choose one X factor, it would be him.
I have to disagree. I think that the X factor is the defense, and if they can get enough pressure on Patrick Mahomes to make him not be able to make the type of plays that he makes.
See, I just think it's impossible to shut that guy down. I really don't think
You know who did it? You know who did it this year? The Detroit Lions.
Was that after? That was before Mahomes was hurt, right?
That was
before the injury. Yep.
Yeah.
That was
in Detroit.
The Lions. There are teams out there that have game plans that can stop Patrick Mahomes.
Well, can the 49ers get pressure on Mahomes with just 4? Armstead, Bosa.
If I'm not mistaken, though, the Chiefs' defense also let them down a lot that game.
Yeah.
Well, it's not important if the defense let them down a lot that game.
Well, it is because it was 34-30. If Mahomes is just playing his game and it is kind of low scoring, he'll be fine. I mean, he put up 35 points. Is that really shutting the guy down?
I mean, it's shutting him down for Patrick Mahomes. And I think that this 49ers team can compete with that. I think
that's what I just said. It's impossible to just shut him down. You're not going to hold the Chiefs.
You're not going to hold him to under 250 yards. Like that, we know that that's not happening. But I'm saying that if you can hold Patrick Mahomes to under 4 touchdown passes, under 3 touchdown passes, and around 300 yards, that's what you want to do this game. You want to make sure that happens. Under 3 touchdown passes and around 300 yards. That's how much you want to stop Patrick Mahomes. And I think that Jimmy G can play however he wants without turning the ball over.
Well, that's my point, though. I mean, he threw for 315 and he ran for 54 more. He didn't score a touchdown, but even then, it's still a hell of a game for a quarterback. I think it's impossible to just shut him down. That's why I'm just expecting him to have a decent game. So that's why I'm saying Jimmy G, because Jimmy G could have a bad game. Jimmy G could have a good game. That's why he's my X factor.
Yeah. Do you think he's capable of playing a shootout? I mean, he hasn't done it. He hasn't had to do it in the playoffs.
I don't think he is.
Yes, I do think that
I look at a game like Seattle where the division title was on the line, and Jimmy G looked completely – he threw 3 picks in a row that Seattle dropped.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing.
Who cares? As long as he doesn't turn the ball over. I know that the drops.
It's not going to happen.
As long as he doesn't turn the ball over.
It won't happen. He just looked completely rattled.
Dude, as long as he doesn't turn the ball over, this 49ers run game and defense will get it done.
I think the Chiefs.
I think the Chiefs. I'm taking the Chiefs. That's a spoiler, but I don't think that Jimmy G has to play that well, and that was the original point of the question.
I think he does. I think the Chiefs will shut down the run and make Jimmy G beat them.
There's no way. The Chiefs' run defense isn't that great.
It's been good lately. Shut down Henry.
Yeah, it shut down Derrick Henry because they had a great game.
I'm telling you, dude. Look at Week 11 on. They've been, if I'm not mistaken, they've been a top 3 defense from Week 11 on. They've been very good.
We'll look at the Chiefs side of things since we're playing with the quarterbacks. Can Mahomes and the Chiefs get the 49ers out of their cover 3 defense but with that RPO game? Because Orlovsky's been on the record by saying, you can't play zone against the RPO, but, the 49ers love that cover 3. Can they stay in that cover 3 and defend the RPO game of Patrick Mahomes?
You sending this to me, Joa?
Yeah. Just there was some noise from some stupid college kids.
So you're saying can they defend the RPO and stay in cover 3?
Yeah, because they want to play cover 3 and keep everything in front of them and not have to match up man to man.
I think they're going to have to. And Robert Saleh has been a great defensive coordinator this year, and he's going to have to come up with a good scheme. But, this is a week where the 49ers linebackers are getting healthy, and they're going to have to step up to stop this RPO game. It's going to be up to them and the D-line to get stops, and they are talented enough to do that. But they have to stay in that cover 3. They cannot leave that or else they will get burnt deep, which they do not want.
Remember, they've had 2 weeks to game plan for this. This is 2 weeks in the making. This is film, studying, looking at everything all season long from the Chiefs. I think that if they have the proper game plan and they can slow down this RPO while playing their distinct style of defense, that's the way you win. That's the way you win. If you can play your distinct style, your distinct brand, and slow down what the other team's distinct brand is, then you will have a great chance to win the game. And that's when you know a defense is playing well, when they can do that.
Do you think they can do it, though? That's the question. Do you think they can stay in that cover 3? And
I think that with this 2 weeks that they've had, I think that Robert Saleh definitely has something that's going to go right for them. I don't know if it works the entire game. It might be a quarter. It might be 10 minutes. But it's going to work for a little bit. It might work for the first set. It might work for the first drive. It might work for the first set of downs. It might work for the first half. It might work for the first 3 quarters. It might work for the whole game. But they know what they're doing. These NFL DCs know how to stop the best offenses in football.
On the flip side, though, we've been seeing a different Andy Reid. I mean, this guy's been great this year. He's not been the Andy Reid that everyone's come to know and love. And he's been – I mean, look at last week is a perfect example to ice the game. 3rd and 9, typical Andy Reid throws a screen pass or runs a draw. He throws a freaking bomb downfield, gets a PI, and the game's over. Like, so
it was a weak PI, but it was whatever.
Well, just on the flip side of this, man, this is a different Andy Reid. He's hungry. He wants to win this as bad as anybody. And you know what? If there's a guy that's more deserving the NFL, I couldn't name one. It's probably Andy Reid. He's probably the most deserving coach in the league to win a Super Bowl.
I think that
I'm just saying that's my devil's advocate to you.
I think that Andy Reid has shown that he can adapt to what his offense does year by year. And so last year we saw Andy Reid just trying to do his Andy Reid thing. And I think this year we've seen Andy Reid sort of recognize what the potential of his offense is and sort of game plan around that potential. And I really think that that's been one of the main reasons why the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl. Like you said, I think that Andy Reid has done an excellent job this year. And I think that he's always been an amazing coach his entire coaching career. He's definitely had some blips with time management, some challenge flag woes, just bad luck.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this year, Andy Reid, another level. In my opinion, it's him and Bill Belichick who are the 2 best head coaches in football. And one's offensive and one's defensive. So
yeah. Well, let me segue into that from the RPO, aspect. I'll send this one to Joe, actually. We talked about the X factor on the 49ers side. My X factor on the Chiefs side is going to be Damian Williams. He's going to be a key factor in that RPO game. I mean, what are you expecting out of him versus number 1 run D?
I think Damian Williams is going to be the X factor of the whole game. I agree with you. I think that if he can have a pretty solid game, I mean, in his 2 games, he's gone almost 30 rushes for right at 100 yards. So not like great production on the ground, but it's been timely. It hasn't been like, oh, I'm gonna carry the whole team, but it's been right when you need it, right when like what was it? They were playing against the Titans, and they needed to basically wear out the clock and get in the end zone one more time, and he carried them down the field and burned the clock out. And I think if he can have a good game, what has he got, like, I don't even know the number, 4, 5, 6 playoff touchdowns in the last 2 years? I think if he can have a good game, the Chiefs will see their entire offense work.
Yeah. This is also weird, though. Like, he's been their only running back. LaShawn McCoy, after the Bears game, there's something going on there because he hasn't been even on the sidelines. Like last week, he wasn't even dressed for the game at all. I think there's something there underlying that we're going to find out about later. But Joe, I mean, what do you think about Damian Williams?
Damian Williams, obviously we know that he is one of the main reasons that this Chiefs offense works, or just the running back position in general, because it brings a lot of balance to Mahomes' arm. And I think that it's not – I don't know, because I think that he's not going to is 49ers defense. Their linebackers are getting healthy. They're right up there in health. They're super healthy for as much as it gets for Super Bowl week. This 49ers front seven is awesome. I'm running. I don't know how to describe it. They're very, very talented, and they're young, and they're fast, and they do what they're supposed to do. They're well coached. They don't have a ton of penalty issues either. And when you have a lockdown corner like Richard Sherman on the outside, who's a good tackler and also is amazing in coverage, I don't see it happening this week. I just don't see a big Damian Williams week. I see a big Damian Williams, a couple big Damian Williams plays, but I don't see a ton of yards and a ton of touchdowns. I see maybe 30, 40 yards and a couple, maybe two touchdowns and, big times. But I don't see a huge game. I just don't see how it can happen. I think that the main person who's going to keep this Chiefs offense moving is going to be obviously Patrick Mahomes. And the fact is that he's going to have to find Damian Williams through the air in order for them to prosper.
Well, I agree with that. I wasn't trying to say that he's going to have a huge game, but I think it'll be timely, like you were saying. I think it'll be right on time for a good,
Well, when we're talking about X factors, we're not necessarily meaning they'll have a good game. It's just more or less they're the guys they're the guys that can swing the game. Like if Williams plays, horribly, then definitely, we could see a Lions-esque game where the defense can shut down Mahomes. But a big factor in that cover three RPO is going to be Williams' running ability.
I'm going to go with not a player as an X factor for this Chiefs offense. I'm going to go with the concept as an X factor.
Sure.
My concept is going to be the Patrick Mahomes to Damian Williams passing game and their connection through the air. I think that's going to be super important, especially with the young athletic linebackers that San Francisco has. I think that if they can use that passing game to the best of their ability and get to that second level in a screen game, in, short routes, drag routes, stunts, just everything, crossing patterns with wide receivers or tight ends, I think that that's going to be the X factor for this Chiefs offense. I'm not going to go with a single player.
Sure.
Well, Lucas, what do you think happens here? Who's going to score the most fantasy points? Do you think it's going to be Damian Williams, or do you think it's going to be the lead dog for the 49ers running game, whether it's Mostert or whether it's Coleman, depending on his health?
Are we just talking about like individual points, or are we talking total, like running backs to the 49ers versus Chiefs deal?
No, we'll go individual points because Williams will lead the Chiefs, and that's pretty clear. Coleman, he's been listed as limited, but it's the Super Bowl. He's probably going to give it a go for sure.
So I'm going to go with the 49ers back, but I'm not going to say which one. And my reasoning behind this is, so I feel like you're right. Coleman's going to give it a go. Obviously, it's the Super Bowl. He's not going to want to not play. So I think that being said, I really do think they're going to game plan Matt Breida in this week. Last week he was thrown in the fire when Coleman got hurt. He didn't get many carries, but he got some. I think if he's thrown in there as that number 2 back and he breaks some big runs there, he could play a factor in this game. I just think Coleman's not going to be involved that much. I think it's going to be a Mostert Breida type game, and I think one of those two guys will outscore Williams.
Yeah, I think that is definitely going to be the 49ers lead back. I think that this run game is too good. If I'm going,
if I had to pick, I would pick Mostert.
See, that's the thing. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna change my mind. I think that it's gonna be. No, I'm not changing my mind. Dang it. No, because I think that the passing game is just gonna be so important this week for the Chiefs.
It's their whole offense essentially.
Yeah, but no, I'm specifically like I was saying in the last question. It's going to be the passing game from Mahomes to Williams, but I don't know if that's enough for me to say that man is going to outscore Mostert.
His only hope is scoring a bunch of 1-yard touchdowns because that's what he does.
That's my thing. I don't know. I think that Mostert just showed the burst of that you don't see this late in the season, really, unless you're Derrick Henry. But Derrick Henry's the absolute tank award winner, so it makes sense. But Mostert, because of this 4-man, at some points it was 4, some points it was 3, some points it was 2 or 3, depending on who's healthy and who's not. Because of that backfield, he's fresh. it's not like he's had a season's worth of wear and tear, but it's not like he's been injured either. It's because they're so deep at that position that he's able to maintain his burst right now, and I think that's just so important this week, and that's why I'm sticking with Mostert.
There you go. Mostert, the man, former Bear, cut by 7 teams, NFC Championship MVP. All right, so let's flip it to the wide receivers. Two groups that have extremely, extremely different production on really on the season and in the playoffs. You've got Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, Hardman, and Robinson, Demarcus Robinson for the Chiefs. And they've been killing it, really. You've got 30 points for Hill the last 2 games, 35 for Watkins, pretty much 6 for the other 2. And then the 49ers crew has done almost nothing. Emmanuel Sanders, Deebo Samuel, Kendrick Bourne. They've done almost nothing in the playoffs. 5 points for Sanders, nearly 20 for Samuel, and 15 for Bourne. So, that's a little something. But in comparison to the Chiefs, you've got 2 just extremely different production values at the same position group. Can the 49ers crew keep up with the Chiefs crew for 1 game, Lucas? Do you think they can put in enough production? I know you were kind of down on Jimmy G in a shootout, but can they keep up? Can they do their part if the game goes back and forth in a shootout?
No, I don't think so. I as a whole, I absolutely hate the wide receivers this week from a fantasy perspective. I don't think you can really trust any of the 49ers guys. I think whatever guy you pick, you might as well just pick out of a hat between Samuel or Sanders, which one will have a better week. If I'm going to pick one guy off this list, I do like Tyreek Hill. I think he's probably going to – I don't like the Chiefs secondary receivers on the inside. I don't like the Watkins, the Hardmans, the Robinsons of the world this week. I'm really high on the Tyreek Hill / Travis Kelce combo this week to get most of their yards. But as a whole, I'm not a big fan of the wide receivers.
Joe, what do you think about this?
I'm kind of with that. I got two 49ers wide receivers in my Draftkings this week, and spoiler alert, one of them is my captain. So, oh God, I'm a little nervous, but it's go big or go home when we talk about that later. I'm gonna go with saying that these wide receivers, unless it's Ty Hill or Sammy Watkins, you really can't trust them. And I'm really just saying slap in the face to that one because I'm trusting them. I don't know. It's a weird positional group. Normally we see these big wide receivers or these nice wide receiver cores. Like last year was the Rams, had a nice one with Cooks and Robert Woods. Yeah, and Kupp was hurt, but he was nice when he was healthy. And the Patriots, they obviously had Julian Edelman and, that whole white guy and, undrafted black guy wide receiver combo. So I think that, I don't really have much to say on the wide receivers. I think that, I wanted to talk about Richard Sherman, and I know that he's a defensive back, but when it comes to wide receivers this week, I have no idea who he's going to cover. And that's one of the questions I wanted to pose to you two was, who is Richard Sherman going to cover if they're forced out of cover 3 and into man? Is it going to be –
He's not a man corner, dude. He'll get toast.
But is it going to be the burner?
It would have to be Hill, yeah.
Is it going to be Hill and he'll get burned, or is it going to be –
It would have to be, I think.
Or is it going to be Sammy Watkins or –
No, it would have to be Hill, I think, but I just think there's no shot they come out of zone. Not with –
What if they're just getting beat all game in zone? And it's the end of the third quarter.
Nick Bosa won't let it happen. They're not going to let those RPOs
Magabosa, yeah, Magabosa.
Their D line. Their D line is really good. Those guys are monsters. I just don't see their D line letting that run game through, where they're going to have to come out of that.
Yeah, so it's a tough question, honestly.
I think the RPO game, honestly, is going to force them out of zone. I think I know it doesn't look good, and I know that's not what they want to do, but I think that's the brilliance of the Chiefs' offense. And with that being said, I think that Sherman, I bet you he goes on Watkins, just to lock somebody down. I don't know.
Well, who would they put on Hill then?
Good question.
I don't know, dude. I think that if I had to pick one receiver this game as my top guy, it's got to be Tyreek Hill. And that's because that man is so unbelievably fast that there's not much that you can do to guard him when he's on a seam route, a fly route, a go route. Nothing, honestly, because he'll outrun you. And Patrick Mahomes, with his big ol' arm, can launch it 65 yards down the field.
So we'll have to see which wide receiver kind of shows out and how that goes. If the 49ers can have anybody that keeps pace with the Chiefs. I know two guys that are pretty much equally matched as far as skill goes are the tight ends, Travis Kelce and George Kittle. They're pretty much considered the 1 and 2 tight end in the league at the moment, though they've also had vastly different playoff productions. Travis Kelce's had 47 fantasy points over 2 games to George Kittle's 7.5. Now, a lot of that's due to the offensive play calling and the game planning, pretty much keeping Kittle as a blocker. But, what do you think happens here? Will Kittle break out of his slump in the Super Bowl for a big game? Will he get revenge against his old college teammate, Anthony Hitchens, who Kittle himself says he bullied him in college at Iowa? Like, how do we see the tight ends going in this game, Lucas?
Yeah, I mean, I'm if I had to pick one, I would go with Travis Kelce. I just think that the way Kittle's been being used lately, like I've been saying, I don't trust Jimmy G to throw the ball. I don't think that'll be their game plan. I think I think he'll do better than last week. I think he might have a decent game, but Travis Kelce's just way too valuable to that Chiefs offense and to their RPO game. I just think he's kind of like matchup proof. I don't care what defense you have. That guy's going to get his. He's going to be a lock for at least 15 points like he is every week. So I just think he's safer, and I'm going to go with him. I like Kittle. Kittle's, a phenomenal player, but his value as a blocker is also incredible, and they're going to try and run the ball. And if that doesn't work, I think they're in some trouble. But I like Kelce more than Kittle this week.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. And I was just looking up some stats real quick because I was kind of interested in what was going on. Because this man named Jimmy Garoppolo from the Chicagoland area, and yeah. But Jimmy G did not really, like, when I go back and I look at who uses their tight ends really well, when I look at the comparison between the 9 games of Nick Mullins last year and the games that Jimmy G had this year, honestly, I prefer Nick Mullins throwing the football to George Kittle I would rather have him throwing the football to George Kittle than I would have Jimmy G, but I would rather have Jimmy G as a quarterback for the offense. I don't know. I honestly think that it would be kind of similar. I think that Nick Mullins would play fine. I don't even know. It's really hard to judge Jimmy G. So that makes it that much harder to judge George Kittle. And especially with the game plan this past couple of weeks, I just don't trust him to break out of his slump. So that's why I'm going to go with Travis Kelce.
I also would take Travis Kelce. I think he's the much safer play just based off the quarterback who's delivering the ball for them. No hate on Kittle. Kittle is an impact player, every snap, whether he's in the defensive backfield or whether he's blocking. And we will have to keep an eye on whether he's nailing Anthony Hitchens or not. Apparently, Hitchens would go in and mess with George Kittle after they would go to sleep, and he would harass and haze him while they were at Iowa. So maybe this will be a chance for a little payback there. We'll move into the defense before we get into our Draftkings and then our predictions. Which defense, we'll keep it real straight and simple. Which defense makes more impact plays in the Super Bowl? Sacks, forced fumbles, interceptions, touchdowns. Which defense do you like better to make more of an impact on this game, Joa?
I like the 49ers defense. I'm going to be honest. Like, the Chiefs defense is fine, but when I think about who could actually take over this game and who could make it really, really hard for the Chiefs to do anything on offense besides, general Patrick Mahomes nastiness, it's going to be the 49ers defense. And I just love their front seven, and I like Richard Sherman so much. And if they can stay in that zone game, they'll be so good.
Yeah, I agree with you for impact plays. 49ers all the way. They've just been so good, all year, minus the few weeks where they were really beat up and they kind of, went downhill a little bit. So I'm sticking with them for impact plays. That being said, I do think that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be more prone to throwing interceptions or something if it comes down to it, like I've been saying all show. I don't trust him to make the play to win the game.
Lucas, why don't you tell us about our friends at StubHub if you're looking for some Super Bowl tickets?
Yeah, that's right. So if you can shell out the money for it, and please send us a video if you go down. It's probably awesome down there in Miami. Get your tickets off StubHub. It's the best place to go for all your ticket needs. I use the app. It's so easy to use. It's so easy to buy tickets. Get them in your virtual wallet right away so you can get down to the game, no matter if you're going to basketball, hockey, baseball, football, whatever, lacrosse. It doesn't matter. Use StubHub. Especially use our link at www.thebearsbrawl.com/StubHub. You see Joe is flashing his phone with the StubHub tickets right there. Super Bowl tickets are going for about $4,800 plus the StubHub fees. Just a little drop in the bucket if you can afford it. I mean, I do. I know a Chiefs fan. He is hype. He said, I'm trying like hell to get tickets to go down there.
What?
He wants to go to Miami.
What?
This is big for them. Everything I've heard is Chiefs fans are one of the most passionate fan bases out there. They will do anything for their team, and what a moment this would be if you saw them win the Super Bowl. So www.thebearsbrawl.com/StubHub. Get your tickets there.
Wow. Yeah. If you've got $5,000 to shell out, go to the Super Bowl. If not,
or if you're just a diehard and want a lifetime experience, I don't care. Get your butt down there. You'll never see this again, maybe.
That's exactly right. So www.thebearsbrawl.com/StubHub. Well, let's get right into the Draftkings segment. The most fun segment.
Hold on. Sorry. I just wanted to say one thing.
Whoa.
Just about George Kittle, because I think he's the best tight end in football. I know, Lucas, you probably think Travis Kelce is, but I just wanted to say one more thing. I'm sorry, Joe. I'm excited for Draftkings too. But
always interrupting.
But okay, take it easy, dude. In 9 games of Nick Mullins, or in 8 games of Nick. Wait, how many is that? Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You're gonna give
7,
a stat.
8,
Be ready for it.
In 9 games of Nick Mullins, George Kittle had 793 receiving yards. This year, in 16, how many did he play this year? You know, I don't always give the stats. I'm not the stat guy. It takes me a second. How many did Jimmy G play this year? Okay, whatever. He had 1,000 yards this year, in 16 games. So I'm just saying, Nick Mullins threw the ball to George Kittle better than Jimmy G did.
So are you saying they should put Nick Mullins in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Bold take. Yes. But don't let the 49ers fans hear that. 49ers Brawl? You all agree with me?
We're clipping that for our promo this week.
Honestly, I really think so. I like Nick Mullins a lot.
All right, Joe, just go to DraftKings.
All right, yeah. Yeah, we're playing DraftKings, and it's time to have our
Don't make fun of me, man.
Of the Super Bowl. We'll just
let Joe go first. I bet Nick Mullins is his captain.
No, that would be dumb. That would be dumb. He's not my captain. And you know what, Lucas? You got last place in the Pro Bowl DraftKings.
Oh, wow.
So guess who's going first?
How offensive.
You.
Last place in the game that didn't matter.
Go.
We're giving away t-shirts.
You know who else got last place? Lamar Jackson in that throwing competition. Maybe if he could have ran. Maybe if he could have ran the ball to the targets, he probably would have outscored Devontae Adams.
He was worse than Devontae Adams and Jarvis Landry.
That's right, Ravens Brawl.
That's sad, dude.
I think your boy is overrated.
That chap there behind this week, they were not happy about that. I guess a lot of people got in their mentions and made them upset.
Welcome to the life of Bears fans.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so
Nick Mullins for Bears QB 2020. So, what do you mean thumbs down?
Here we go. My DraftKings. This week we're doing showdown, so we're doing all flexes. We have the one captain spot worth 1.5 times the money. He scores 1.5 times the points. My first spot, I'm going with the man Debo Samuel. I picked him out of a hat between him and Manny there, so I'm going with him. I'm going with Debo, Raheem Mostert, Tyreek Hill, Harrison Butker, Matt Breida, and my captain is Travis Kelce.
There you
No
go.
QBs this week.
There you have it. Oh, I guess I should pull my lineup up.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Let's see. I'm playing. My lineup is going to be. I'm going with Patrick Mahomes as my captain. Big surprise there. I'm going Mahomie. With the captain. I'm going
You're showing up. You're showing out that Super Bowl money for Mahomes.
$18,900 for Patrick
That
Mahomes.
is ridiculous,
I'm
bro.
playing Robbie Gold. It's going to be good as gold. I'm playing DeMarcus Robinson, Debo Samuel, Sammy Watkins, and Damian Williams to round out my lineup. And,
Wow.
Yeah, you're going down, Lucas. That's a winning lineup.
So, that's crazy. My captain pick might get a little bit of hate, but that Nick Mullins tight might get more. My captain this week is going to be Emmanuel Sanders. My flexes are going to be as follows: Harrison Butker, Raheem Mostert, Debo Samuel, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Patrick Mahomes. And I think that I'm gonna win, but I don't know.
Well, if you do win, it would make up for all the times you lost this year.
Yeah, this will be a big week to win, Joe. We got. The last one. It'll make a lasting impact for the off season. We have 20 players so far for our competition, and we need 50. If we get 50, we're going to give out a T-shirt again this week. We're going to give out a Fantasy Football Brawl T-shirt. They're really nice. They feel great, and it's a great way to show off your winnings. Or if you don't like us and you just want a Fanatics memorabilia, we'll give out the equal value. That's $25 on Fanatics. So yeah, follow us and find our link. It'll be on our Twitter at Brawl Fantasy. It'll be on our Facebook. Joe is going to put it on our Facebook ASAP. It's going to be on our Facebook Fantasy Football Brawl. It's going to be on our Instagram. I think it's already there.
Go.
Fantasy Football Brawl on Instagram as well. So you can find our link pretty much anywhere. There's no reason for you not to play. It's free. It's free, and you don't have to put anything in to win our T-shirt. All you need is 50 players. We need 50, so that means you have to enter and probably tell a friend and get them to enter. We're at 20 right now. It's Wednesday night. We need 30 more players by Sunday about midday. Go tell your brother, your sister, your mother, your enemy, your lover. It doesn't matter. Get your dog involved and play Draftkings with us. It's Showdown. It's the last game of the year. If you want to win that T-shirt, we want to give it out, but we're only giving it out if we get 50 or more. Not 49, not 48. Everybody jump in. Mike Perez, you the man. Get everybody in Brawl Network in on it. Don't make me put out a video on Friday or Saturday to get more players. I will do it. I'll get up here and I'll yell at everybody. And we don't want to do that. We want to keep my dog and cat and wife happy downstairs and not mess with anybody, all right? So retweet our link to get that friend out. Get that friend who you dominated all year long in fantasy football. You want to dominate him one more time? Play DraftKings Super Bowl Edition. Spice up your Super Bowl. Are you not a Chiefs fan? You're not a 49ers fan? Neither am I. But I want to make that Super Bowl spicy. I want to make it interesting. I want to have a little something on the line. Hey, I want to win that T-shirt. I want Joe and Lucas to buy me a T-shirt. Don't show.
I want y'all to buy me a T-shirt.
There you go. So let's do
My
it.
Nick Mullins customized Bears jersey.
There you go. We'll put $25 to that customized jersey for you. Get in that DraftKings. Everybody sign up. Everybody play. It's free. It's fun. It'll make the Super Bowl all that more interesting. So, with all that being said, that's all we've got for the show. The last thing we've got to do is predict the game. We've got Chiefs and 49ers. You all know who's playing. The Chiefs are a 1.5-point favorite. The over-under is 54.5. We're going to just go right around the circle.
52.5, I think.
Oh, I got that off ESPN.
It probably varies. It might have went up. I haven't checked.
Definitely could, it moves around a bit. I got that from ESPN about 2 hours ago, so it might have moved or whatnot. Or they might be using different sports books. Totally legitimate there. Joa, you want to start it off? Who wins? Do they cover? And what's the over-under?
Okay. So
we'll do one more thing. Who's the MVP?
All right, I have
What color is the
predictions.
Gatorade on the coach's head?
Stop. No prop bets.
Coin toss?
No prop bets. No prop bets.
Prop bets. Come on, bro.
Okay, here we go. I have 2 predictions, okay? 2 game predictions, and it depends on what happens. All right. If Jimmy G plays the entire game, the Chiefs win big. Not like big, but like, they win the Super Bowl, so it's big. If the Jimmy G plays the entire game, I got Chiefs 31, 49ers 28. But if Jimmy G finds a way to have himself be on the sideline this week, and my main man, Nick Mullins, comes in, I got the 49ers win this game 27-24. And if you got anything to say about it,
No, it's your
my
prediction.
MVP for the first prediction is going to be Patrick Mahomes. Because, he's going to win a ring and an MVP before he's 25. And he's going to have a Super Bowl MVP. And he's just going to be the greatest quarterback of all time. Blah, 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 blah. But if my other prediction comes true, then Nick Mullins will be the MVP. And he will get big money this offseason. Just saying. Yeah.
All right, there you have it. I mean, it's Joe's prediction. It's Joe's world. We'll see what
No,
happens.
my serious one's the first one, but
Yeah.
I would love to see the second one.
Lucas, what you got for the week?
So, I don't know why my gut has just been telling me all week that the 49ers are going to win this game. I don't know why. Just maybe I have a feeling that their run game will work. But I think the 49ers will win. I think it's going to be very low scoring. I think might be something of the, 24-21 nature, something of that. So that would be under the 54.5 there, right, Joe?
You said 24 to what?
21.
Yes, 45.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that would be under that.
Yep.
Actually, it might be slightly higher. I think the Chiefs might get a few more field goals in there. So, I think it'll be low scoring. I'm taking the under in the game. I think the 49ers are going to win, and I think this will be the first Super Bowl in a while where a non-quarterback wins the MVP.
So
I'll
who
leave
is
it at that. I don't know. It's going to be some unsung hero. It's probably be Raheem
Magabosa.
Mostert.
What?
Could be Mostert. It could be Matt Breida. Could be Magabosa. Could be Richard Sherman. Makes a big play, but it will not be Jimmy G. If the 49ers win, it will not be Jimmy G. Could be Kittle. Who knows?
We'll see how it plays out for old Lucas there. I'm going to take the Chiefs. I think this is the time for Andy Reid to get it done. I think it'll be close. I think it'll be – Joe, I really liked your first score, 31-28. But no. I'm going to go – I'll go 20. I'll go 28-24. I'll go 28-24. So I think that's still coming in under. Barely coming in under. And I guess for my MVP, I'll play with Damian Williams. I'll give it to Damian Williams. I think he'll be with some timely touchdowns.
If the Chiefs win, dude, it'll be Mahomes, 100%.
Well, if Williams gets 2 touchdowns, you never know.
I'm changing my prediction. Just the score. I'm going to go 27-26. I don't even know how you can score 26 points, but it's going to happen. Someone figure that out for me.
You can score 26 points by getting 3 touchdowns, a field goal, and a safety.
Or just a bunch of field goals and a few touchdowns.
There you go. So we're going to be back one more time next week. It's going to be the end of our season. We cannot wait to we've had a great season, but it'll be the end of our 2019 season. Next week, we'll recap the Super Bowl. We'll recap the year. We'll tell you what we're going to do in the offseason. It's going to be a blast. It'll be a short episode like we always do, nice and short. Follow us
this
on.
This one was super short.
They're all short. Follow us all on Twitter at 72TubeBro, at LBerry_40, at Joe Gaither6, and we are all at Brawl Fantasy on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, Fantasy Football Brawl. Like and follow our page. Love it. Interact with us. Play Draftkings with us and win a t-shirt. Get 50 players and win a t-shirt. We cannot wait for that. Enjoy your Super Bowl week, and we will wrap up our last episode of the year next week.
And make sure to check out the Kobe and Vanessa Bryant Foundation and support the families of the victims of the tragic helicopter crash.